Hi guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Kyra, and today we're going to be talking about all the makeup that makes me feel like a pretty woman. So sometimes ideas for videos just come to me right out of the blue, and this was one of those ideas. The other day I was just thinking in my head, I think while I was getting ready for another video, about the makeup that makes me feel beautiful inside and out. Just the types of products, the things that I tend to reach for, colors, and all of that. So I thought we'd talk about that today while I apply some of those products. But before we get into that, if you are new here, a very special welcome to you. I hope you will consider subscribing before you leave. If you like what you see today, it's free, it's easy, and it helps you find my videos more easily Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday when I upload. And allegedly, if you ring that notification bell to all, YouTube will let you know when that happens. So all I have on my skin thus far is my skincare plus my sunscreen. This is my current sunscreen, which is the Coats Face Prime and Protect Tinted SPF Sheer Matte Mineral Sunscreen PA+++. Big mouthful. So one of the things that makes me feel most beautiful is just being in the skin that I'm in. And by that I mean just a very light coverage product over the entire face that just sort of evens things out, adds moisture and dew to the skin. A lot of times the product I would use is the Nisha Perfect Cover BB Cream, which you guys know that I love. But for today, another product that I've really been loving that falls in the similar category is the Tarte Maracuja Tinted Hydrator. And this is in the shade Light Neutral. I think it was a promo from Sephora, and I'm really glad that I tried it because it is a really nice product. And you're gonna see that this has not a ton of coverage, but just enough to sort of blur things out. Like I said, add a little hydration as well. One of the reasons why I do love a product like this and why it makes me feel so beautiful is because in general, I like a lighter coverage look. That's what makes me feel beautiful. I know a lot of people might feel more beautiful in more of a full coverage type situation, but for me, the less I look like I'm wearing makeup, the better. That's the more beautiful I feel. All right, for concealer, I'm going to be using the Glossier Stretch Concealer, and while I apply it, I will tell you why. I really love this product. This is the shade G9. I'm going to pick up a little bit on my ring finger and just pat this on the very outer part of my eye. And the reason I like this one is it is very, very skin-like in the finish. It has coverage, but not too much coverage. And I don't find that I have to set it, so it does tend to look really natural under the eyes throughout the day. It doesn't tend to move on me, which is, you know, really good for an emollient product like this. But again, this is a product that just perfects my skin, but not too much. Not to the point where it doesn't look like my skin anymore, just to the point where it looks like, you know, I woke up with good skin today, which I did for the most part. So you can see the difference. It's brightened and, you know, perfected, but not too much. All right, for powder, a fave all around is the Hourglass Veil Translucent Powder. I have the mini here, and again, this is a situation where less is more. This powder is so lightweight and just beautiful that it's definitely my go-to powder. When I want to feel and look my best, I absolutely reach for this powder every time. I love that I can set my makeup without taking away that glow from within, as well as you know, it just perfects the skin. But I do like this powder a whole lot, and it's just one of those that never lets me down. And it's one of those powders as well, if you have a tendency to go a little over the top with your loose powder and things look powdery, this is one that is near impossible to use too much. All right, next is bronzer, and some of you might expect this particular product, and that is the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Bronze It in the shade Light. And this is not only one of my favorite products for bronzing the face, but it's also the one that I feel most beautiful in because it just perfects my skin. It doesn't look overly shiny or shimmery on the skin, it just looks airbrushed. So that's what we're using today. And for me, I like to try and keep things a little bit more light and natural when I'm going for a look that makes me feel beautiful. Speaking of beautiful, it is so nice outside right now. Woke up and it was like 57 degrees here, and the high for the day is like 75, and there is no rain. So all of that is just something that makes me very, very happy. And one thing that definitely makes me feel more pretty is looking sun-kissed with my bronzer. So I make sure I sort of feather it up into the crease of my eye, just to kind of take away some of that reverse raccoon look, so to speak, the brightness under the eyes. And then I also apply it across my nose in that wave technique that has swept YouTube as of lately. And I'm curious, what steps do you feel like make you feel the most beautiful and confident? For me, one of those steps is definitely bronzer, which is why I think I've kind of gone bronzer crazy this season, these warm months here. Next is highlight, and for me, I just want something that looks like glass skin, just glow from within, but just like, where did she come from? Where does she buy her skincare kind of thing? And the one I've been loving a lot lately is these from Nabla, the Skin Glazing Glass Skin Finish Glow Powder. And I have mine in the shade Privilege, which is super pretty. So I'm gonna put this on first because I am doing a cream blush, and this is just how I want to do things today. And I don't want to go crazy or anything like that. I just want to lightly glow up the cheeks. See? Glass. It's so pretty. I would definitely consider purchasing more shades from this line. I don't know what kind of magic is in here, because it does. It really looks like glass skin, but it doesn't look made up. It doesn't look like a strip of highlighter, and I don't know what that's about. For blush, I have two that I want to mix together today. Both are favorites, but they are these two right here. I have the Flower Beauty Blush Balm in the shade Pinched, which I am definitely cruising through, and then the Glossier Cloud Paint in the shade Puff, which is a really pretty pink color, and I'm hoping mixed together it will be even prettier. But you can see I'm really making a dent in this one. Legitimately one of my favorite blushes. So there they are. Let's see what we get. All right, so this is what we ended up with. I really like that. It just kind of warmed up the pink a little bit. I am gonna apply this with the butt of my beauty blender, and I'm gonna apply this to the cheeks, but I'm also going to apply it across the nose. Something about a pinky peachy, you know, kind of tone like this. And because the Flower Beauty and the Glossier is such a similar formula, I would say the Glossier ones stay a little bit more dewy, than the flower ones, but not terrible. But because they're so similar, I think that's why they work well to mix them together. And mixing cream blush is really not something I've done a lot of, so I really do enjoy it. That is gorgeous. So the palette we're going to use today is the Natasha Denona Gold palette. And the type of look that makes me feel really beautiful is a beautiful brown, bronzy eye. I always get a ton of compliments, and so I'm gonna kind of stick with these mattes and then this shade right here, which is called Varus. This is one of my favorite shades in the whole palette. So I'm getting started in the transition with this shade. We're just gonna kind of build until we get to the deepest brown, and then we add that shade Varus, that browny, bronzy goodness. I will say there are other types of looks that make me feel beautiful. I love to wear like light pinky types of looks as well. Like lately I've been loving the ColourPop Blush Crush. Like these are my pinky tones, a little bit more warm pinky versus like mauve pinky. All right, next I'm going to go into this shade down here, which is Teak, and I'm going to put this into the crease. And I'm gonna start this on the outer V of the lid like I normally do. It just helps to sort of deposit some of the color right there, and then I can confidently go into the crease without overdoing it. I'm going to build that up just a wee bit more so that we have a nice transition into the deepest brown. And I could make this look with a lot of different palettes in my collection, but I hadn't used my gold palette for a little bit. So, and these are the perfect browns. It's a nice gradient right here. Real quick, I'm gonna pick up that same shade Teak on this little flat shader brush and run this along the lower lash line, very close to the lashes, and moving it almost all the way in. All right, I'm gonna take the original fluffy brush and just do a little quick blend before we go into the deepest shade. Because once we go into the deepest shade, we want to do the most, or I want to do the most minimal amount of blending so as not to pull the darkest shade up into this crease where we've created such a beautiful gradient. Now, all over the lid, I'm going to go in with this deep brown, which is called Log. See, it's been so long, I've even forgotten the shade names. It's very sad. And so I'm just going to apply this all over the lid. Now, once I have it all the way on the mobile lid like this, I'm gonna go back into my second brush, which was this pinched fluffy brush, and just lightly blend the edges. And if you find that you're having a little trouble blending, you can always go back a step to the second shade that we used, or that you used, and that helps blend sometimes. For the star of the show, we're going to go into Varus, which is just a really beautiful brownie bronze, and I'm gonna attempt to just keep this sort of mostly in the middle of the lid and then, you know, blend it out. Just going to feather this out with the flat brush that we used on the lower lash line. All right, and then I'm going to take this same shade on the lower lash line, but I'm going to spray it. Yes, I think I am. I'm going to use this little pointy pencil brush here from e.l.f. from their Beautifully Precise line, I think is what it is. And just use a little Mario Badescu facial spray and just run this all along the lower lash line. I just love a shimmer on the lower lash line. And let's see if we can punch up the lid just a little bit with some spray. Again, concentrate this right on the center. All right. Before we call the eyes done, going back into the highlighter and just going to brighten up that inner corner a little bit. Pick this up on a little brush and highlight this inner corner and sort of around the tear duct area. And then I like to pull it up toward the transition just to give a little bit of a lift to the eye look. Anybody else feel like we need a little highlight on the center of the lid? Let's try this. There we go. That's nice. Yeah, that just helped brighten things up just a little bit. I'm going to pop off of here real quick and do some mascara. I'm going to use the Milk Kush mascara, do something with the hair, all that jazz, and then we will come back for a lip that makes me feel beautiful. We're back. I finished off the eyes, like I said, with the Milk Kush mascara, but I also used a nude liner in the waterline. Also wanted to mention, when I do a more bold or sultry or smoky eye kind of look, I usually opt not to put mascara on the bottom, and that is what I did today. Then I finished off my brows with the Patrick Ta Major Brow. This is the tinted one. And I went ahead and lined my lips with the Holy Grail MAC lip liner in the shade Whirl. And now for lipstick. What I picked today was the Charlotte Tilbury Hot Lips 2 lipstick. This is in the shade Glowing Jen, inspired by Jennifer Aniston, and it's beautiful rose, warm rose. I love the way her lipsticks smell. And that, my friends, is that. What do we think? Do I look beautiful to you? I feel beautiful in this look. I love me a good bronzy eye. For some reason, I just love the way it looks with my brown eyes. But this is the makeup that makes me feel beautiful when I apply it. Let me know down below. What are the types of products or specific products that make you feel absolutely stunning when you wear them? Of course, beauty comes from the inside out, but it doesn't hurt to go into the world with a little bit of confidence if makeup does that for you. So with all of that said, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, you could give it a big old thumbs up for me and subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps me out here on the platform, and we're getting ever closer to 1,000 subscribers. And I hope you're staying safe and well right now, and I hope all of your makeup days are absolutely beautiful makeup days. And I will see you in my next video real soon.